Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Advice of the Day with me, your host, Zakariya Westcott. We begin in the name of Allah. All praise is due to Him alone. May His peace and blessings be upon His noble Prophet, Prophet Muhammad, the last and final messenger. Today, we continue our look at the topic of rya, or showing off. But what is the remedy for it? Two elements constitute the remedy for rya. Firstly, to uproot it from the heart, and secondly, to ward it off immediately whenever it comes to one's mind when doing an act of worship. As for the first element, that is uprooting the rya from the heart, it should be realized that love of prestige and high position is the primary root of rya. There are three signs of such love: to love the pleasure produced by being praised, to flee from the pain caused by being dispraised, and to look greedily at what the other people have. A person may not like being praised or mentioned by people, yet he does not like either to be dispraised by them, as is the case of a person who, though a coward, does not flee from the battlefield, lest he should be accused of cowardice. The best remedy for such a person, as well as the person who likes to be praised by people, is to think over the thing that leads him to commit this rya, and to recall the tremendous consequences of this terrible flaw. He will then realize that in spite of its being pleasant at that moment, it is harmful in the end, so it is quite rational that he should avoid it from the beginning. Looking greedily at what other people possess constitutes one of the main roots of rya. Man can remove this root by comprehending the fact that it is only Allah, the Almighty, who provides bounties and wealth, and that whoever looks greedily at the possessions of others is not free from humiliation and loss, even if he gets any of these possessions. How can he then leave that which is in the hands of Allah for the sake of deceptive desire, for that which is in the hands of the people? The second element constituting the remedy for rya is to ward it off immediately whenever it comes to one's mind when doing an act of worship. This should be acquired through much practice and strife against one's vain desires. This strife requires that the person who is afflicted with rya habituates himself to contentment with Allah's bounties and not seeking to get what the others have. He should also pay no attention to people's praising or dispraising of him, for Satan never leaves him alone when worshipping Allah, and always attacks him with rya and such orientated thoughts, so that he may render his acts of worship fruitless. If, for example, he is distracted by the idea that people are observing his worship, he may say to himself, "It does not matter whether they know or do not know about my worship, for Allah knows best about it. So what is meant to be gained by anyone else's knowing about my act of worship?" Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.